Hey guys, Alyssa here over at Books and Cats, and today I shall be doing my reading goals for 2019. So, this shall not be a very long list, mostly because I really enjoyed keeping it very open for 2018. I think it worked out really well for me. I had a pretty great reading year, and I want to keep that momentum going, so I'm not trying to stress myself out with any kind of goals. I might throughout the year try to change it, but there's just like so much going on like personally in my life that to try to start goals at the beginning of the year is just going to be way too much for my brain to handle and to plan out and all that stuff. So we're just going to do some very basic goals. This will definitely be coming in December, but probably all of my 2018 reading wrap-ups and statistics and favorite and least favorite books will probably be coming after the new year, because I might be moving and it might get very hectic. So let's just get into what I hopefully will be doing in 2019. Okay, so the first goal is kind of a more structured idea than last year and a more realistic one than the one I set in 2017. And that is to read 5 classics and to have a classics TBR jar. I have not had a TBR jar, I think, since 2017. Early 2017, that promptly died, I think, 2 to 3 months into the year. I don't really want a TBR jar for my regular fiction books that I usually prioritize, but I would like to set one for classics because I have quite a collection of classics that I have not read, and I really would like to remedy that. I just want to try to motivate myself to gravitate towards those books more. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if I'm going to do that in my wrap-ups because I don't do monthly TBRs. I don't know how that's going to work. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I will be having a TBR jar for all of my classic books. The next one is I will personally be setting a Goodreads goal. A Goodreads reading challenge, if you're not familiar. I set them every year. I've been setting them for 4 years now, 4 or 5 years. I love them. It helps motivate me. It's not a thing that stresses me out. It never has. I don't think it ever will. If I'm not reaching it, I'll lower the challenge. It's not a big deal to me. For 2019, I'll be setting the same thing that I did for 2018, which was 70 books. I think that's a good number for me. If I don't end up reading that much, then I will lower it. I had to call somebody real quick. I forget where I left off. I believe I was talking about my Goodreads reading challenge and how it doesn't stress me out, and I set it every year, and if I pass it, great, and if I don't, then I'll lower it. No big deal. The next goal is related to my TBR, my unread books, and that is to keep them under 50. I believe I'm right around 30, between 30 and 35 of unread books. That is the lowest I have been in years. I am so proud of myself. I have read so many of my TBR books this year, and that is something that I really want to keep implementing into the next year. I bought very few books this year, and what I did buy, I read a lot of. I unhauled a lot too, in all fairness. I started off the year with, I think, between 75 and 100, and I bought, I think, close to 30-ish books maybe. I don't know. I haven't counted yet. But I just really read a lot of my TBR picks. I read a lot of TBR books. I want to keep it under 50. That's my preferred way. Max 75. For me, 75 is still a reasonable number. Now, I did talk about my classic books. My classic books are not included in that because I feel like classic books are their own entity. I read them differently. They take a different pacing, so I don't factor them in to my other books. And a thing that I did a lot, really all year this year, and that I really want to do in 2019 is to really only buy things that I really want to read. I know before I fell into the trap of, well, it's cheap. I've heard this person talking about it. I've heard, I've seen it. It sounds kind of interesting. I maybe might like it. Whereas now I am so hesitant to buy any books. It's really kind of wonderful. It's really done great things for the books that I owned, and it's really put into perspective what books I want to own and what books I don't. For the last reading goal that I have, the two after this are channel goals. I want to keep reading more nonfiction. That's really something I want to actively pursue in 2019, is reading a lot more nonfiction. I kind of dabbled in it at the end of this year, and I really digged it. November I read, I think, actually 3 nonfiction books. I didn't even realize that, but I read 3 nonfiction books, and they were completely different from one another, and I was so into it. So I really want to get more into nonfiction and explore that route more, because it was fun and something that my brain is ready for. The first channel goal that I have, I only have 2, I don't have any great expectations for myself, is to keep doing reviews. I think I did, what, 1 or 2 book reviews this year? I did a couple. I have a couple on my channel, and I want to keep doing it. I don't want to have any pressure around it, but I think the process is fun. It's not something I plan on doing with a lot of books, because I personally have found that it takes a certain combination of thoughts in my head for me to be able to make a whole video dedicated on it. I just want to keep doing video reviews, even if I do 1 or 2 the entire year. That's a success for me. And my last 2018 reading goal is to upload once a week, 52 in a year total. Last year I was a little ambitious, not gonna lie. But this year, I just once a week would be fine. Obviously, I'm gonna aim for more, but 52 in a year to me is pretty decent, and I want to do at least that. My goal for 2019 is to do the barest minimum, and if I can do more, then great, and if I can't, then hey. I did the barest minimum that I was trying to do. So those were my 2019 reading goals. Not very impressive, not a super intense list. Some people probably have a much more interesting list than I do. I'm at a point in my life where, like, I just want to read what I want to read, and I can't guarantee that in the middle of the year I'm gonna feel the same way about certain goals that I do now. Let me know some of your 2019 reading goals down below. Or videos, if you posted, let me know down below. Or if you have any similar ones to mine, let me know down below. That's all I got. If you guys enjoyed this video, you can go ahead, subscribe, follow me on all my social media. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I shall see you in the next one. Bye.